What's up, guys? So, on this particular video, we'll be discussing about Leh Ladakh in July 2026, what you should be expecting in terms of the weather, the road condition, the crowd, the things that you need to be packing, and most of all, will it be raining in Ladakh or in the Srinagar or in Manali? What is going to be the status going by the previous years of the floods that have plagued Manali and Himachal? Now, starting off with the weather in Ladakh, July is pretty much the start of proper summer in Ladakh region. So the daytime temperature will range from anywhere between 20 to 30 degrees, while the temperature at night will be anywhere between 3 degrees to 12 degrees. Now, this temperature fluctuation depends entirely on where you are staying. If you're staying at higher altitudes or closer to the riverbank, it's going to be much more colder as compared to what it would be if you're staying more central in the villages or in the cities. Now, when it comes to the road accessibility, you need to understand that this is completely dependent on how the monsoon arrives and when it does arrive, because this year is an El Nino year, so it's been extremely hot in most parts of India, while in Ladakh it's still been snowing, and this pattern will continue even in the month of July, where at the passes, basically at Kardungla and at Changla, you can expect snowfall at any time. So come prepared. The month of July, it's also going to be extremely windy at places like Pangong and at Somoriri. Hence, come with your woolen clothing. Even though it is summer, it's still going to be cold and windy. Do not come under prepared to Ladakh in terms of your clothing, because that's one of the key areas where people end up falling sick. Now, when it comes to acclimatization in July, it is very, very important that you keep at least 2 days to acclimatize if you're flying in and out of Leh. If you're taking the road journey from Manali to Srinagar, make sure that you have a minimum, I would say, of 8 nights, 9 days, because it's going to be otherwise cut to cut in case there is any kind of road blockage because of landslides or any unexpected weather that can come along the way. Because you have to understand one thing, that July marks the start of monsoon in places like Himachal Pradesh, which have been flood affected for the past few years. Now, this year, because it's a El Nino year, it could be different, and let's hope that the floods do not hamper the transportation. If you're planning on traveling to Leh via Delhi and Manali and returning back the same way, keep a minimum of 9 days or 10 days, so that you have at least some buffer time in case for any reason there's a roadblock or there's a blockage or the roads are shut. You have enough of time to get back to Delhi. This way, you don't end up missing your flights. Now, Ladakh has been getting a lot of crowd in the month of June and July for the last few years. So, if you have not yet booked your flights for July, go ahead and book it right away, because otherwise, you're going to end up having to spend way more than what you would expect for the month of July. Rains in Ladakh will not be there, because Ladakh is a rain shadow region, so you're not going to get any kind of rain. Even if it does rain, it's going to be very limited in Leh town. Anywhere else, it's going to be snowfall, especially at the passes. So, like I mentioned earlier, come prepared with your woolen clothing. Do not come under prepared because you think it is monsoon in rest of India and it's summer in Ladakh. Summer in Ladakh is still colder than what winter in most places in mainstream India would be. Now, what are the places that you should be visiting? By default, you should visit, I would say, Nubra Valley, Pangong, and if you want to go a bit offbeat, you can go to Hanle, which is the best place for stargazing in Ladakh because of the night sky, and Somoriri. Now, if you're looking for a clear night sky for your trip, then the 14th of July is when it's going to be a no moon night. It's going to be clear sky. This is provided the sky is also clear with the weather, because it can get cloudy, and this could hamper the viewing. But this is the date, so you can book your stay at Hanley anytime between the 13th to the 15th. But just make sure that you're booked well in advance, because like the month of June has been packed in Hanley. There are no rooms, there is no accommodation left in Hanley, because everybody's moving there, since that's the new upcoming place that has just popped up, and a lot of people have been, I'm amazed by the night sky in Hanley. The month of July is also a very good time for you to go biking around Ladakh. So if you're someone who wants to do a biking trip around Ladakh, July is the perfect time to be going there because the water levels at the passes are not going to be as bad as what it would be in the rest of the months. Along with this, most of the snow has melted, so the road condition has stabilized. Plus, it's a lot more warmer, so even when you're riding, you're not going to feel really extremely cold like what it would be. Just that the monsoon from Manali is the scary bit, but that's something that you can bypass if you have enough of days because it's not going to be raining continuously every day. There will be a break in the weather. Now, what you should be carrying for your trip to Ladakh, by default, you need a very good pair of shoes. You need your woolens, you need your UV protected sunglasses, you need a sunscreen, and most of all, you need your lip balm because without that, you can't really survive in Ladakh. Your lips will start chapping and will bleed after some time. Remember, in Ladakh region, you need an ILP, which is an inner line permit, which has to be done online from the government website. Make sure you have that and you have it routed as per the blueprint that you have for your entire trip. Otherwise, they're going to send you back from the check post. Along with the ILP, you need to have a postpaid SIM card because prepaid SIM cards do not work in Ladakh. So make sure that you either have a postpaid SIM card or a local SIM that you can buy in Leh. The downside of having a local SIM card in Leh is that your UPI payments will not work. The best networks in Ladakh is Airtel and Jio. These are the two dominant networks which have 4G and 5G network coverage. Airtel and I would say Airtel and Jio go neck to neck, but the downside is if you're going to be coming with Vodafone, it's not at all prevalent beyond I would say Leh town. BSNL is not at all convincing anymore. You can get maybe cellular network here and there, but overall their data is not the 4G 5G is not at all up to the mark anymore in Ladakh at least. Now, the places that you should definitely be visiting is in Nubra Valley. You should definitely go to Turtuk, which is on the border, which is pretty much on the border. I would say it's one of the last villages in Nubra Valley. And the month of July is when you'll get to taste the fresh apricots. You can pluck them from the trees and have them. And along with this, try to stay at least a couple of nights in Nubra Valley because that's when the whole experience of Nubra is comes to a whole. Beyond that, if you want, you can go to Somoriri, but remember, going to Somoriri will require you to have a minimum. The month of July is a very good time to be going for people who really want to see the summer beauty of Ladakh without having to overspend because the flights are affordable. The accommodation cost will also drop slightly compared to what it would have been in the month of June because June is absolutely peak season. Along with this, even the crowd would reduce because most of the schools would have started and children and families would get back home. This way, you won't have a lot of the family crowd in Ladakh. Now, remember, if you're planning a Ladakh trip in the month of July, we do have trips happening in July. You can click on the link in the description and you'll get all the details related to our trips that are happening in July. You can book directly from our website or you can contact our sales team from our website who will give you all the details related to our trips. If you have any personal queries related to your own travel to Ladakh in the month of July, then please do not WhatsApp or call us. You can leave a comment below this video and our team will be more than happy to reply to your question. And if your question is good enough, they'll even make a video of the same, which will be useful and helpful to others. But if you want a one-on-one conversation with our team, then you'll have to book a consultation, which is a paid service, which will cost you anywhere between 1,000 to 3,000, depending on what exactly you are looking for. But please do not just try to invade our time and try to get free answers out of it because it is our time and our time is important to us. So please respect that. Now, getting back to Ladakh, do not worry about the rain. Do not worry about, I would say, uh, more than the rain, do not worry about the weather going too harsh because it is monsoon in other parts of India. Just come to Ladakh if you have already made your plans and book your flights well in advance. Go ahead and make the trip happen in July this year. Do not procrastinate and keep it for another year because that's where most people end up missing out on the entire experience of Ladakh. And overall, Ladakh has no fuel issues with the ongoing war. Ladakh has everything under control. In fact, it is more organized than any other place in the Himalayan region currently because Ladakhis, at the end of the day, thrive on tourism and they are the very best at what they are doing in terms of the Himalayan travel. Over and above this, remember, till our next video, stay safe, stay happy, stay blessed, and cover the earth before it covers.